Let's meet the New York starters.
Now, starting lineup first for the visiting Knicks. At forward, number 2, 6'7" from UNLV, Larry Johnson. At forward, number 34, 6'9" from Virginia Union, Charles Oakley. At guard, number 1, 6'3" from Boise State, Chris Childs. At guard, number 26'6" from Tennessee, Allen Houston. And at center, number 33, 7 foot from Georgetown, Patrick Ewing. The head coach of the Knicks is Jeff Van Gundy. The assistant coaches Don Chaney, Brendan Malone, Jeff Nix, and Tom Thibodeau. The trainer is Mike Saunders.
He's never had a season where he's had more assists than turnovers.
And there is Patrick Ewing, recently named one of the NBA's top 50 players of all time, averaged 20 points on 6. LJ on the turn, comes up short, got a second try, and that is what you must limit.
Absolutely, Eric. You can't let the Knicks dominate the board. Johnson shot it and got it back.
And for Mourning, good intimidation by Mourning, but Ewing there for the follow. So twice on second shots, New York scores.
And that has to be remedied, Eric, for the Heat to win this series and to win this game even.
3-point Miami lead. Hardaway uses the screen, but cannot shed himself from a good defender in Chris Childs. Tough shot right there.
Play. The Heat are giving Tim Hardaway a number of screens. He got one from Zoe and another one from PJ, and then took it himself to bank it off the glass.
And an offensive foul charge to Patrick Ewing down at the other end. In front 11-4. The Heat have made 5 of their first 8 shots. LJ strikes from in close, the short jumper over Mash. So Larry Johnson with 4 of New York 6 points. The Knicks have already committed 4 turnovers. Miami just 1. Hardaway spinning away from Childs. Ewing there to help.
Good entry. Good entry.
Turns on Oakley, comes up short. Charles Oakley brings down his first rebound of this series. He averaged 10 rebounds a game through the regular season. 5 minutes in, Heat lead by 5. Childs in the Patrick Ewing. The 11-time All-Star comes across the paint. Oakley finds LJ. Nice pump fake. Could not finish, but was fouled underneath by Tim Hardaway. LJ brings Alonzo outside. Houston first look. Too good. An open triple and a splashdown for Allen Houston.
Oh, you've got to run at Houston. P.J. Brown seemed a little reluctant to leave his man inside and make that cover.
Now this is a 7-0 run by New York to tie the game at 11. Out it comes to Timmy Hardaway, takes the lane, got the runner.
Hardaway. This away. Hardaway.
7.5 minutes left in the first. Childs launches. Long rebound comes down to P.J. Brown, who already has 4 rebounds in this first quarter. Lead it 13-11. Zoe on the drive by Oakley. Hard move, no foul. And Allen Houston, the former Piston, comes down, off and running, intercepted by Hardaway. He'd have numbers. Leonard in transition and open 3. And Larry Johnson keeping it away from P.J. Brown. Well, a high-pitched pace here in the first quarter. Miami in front 13-11. Just under 5 minutes left. Opening quarter of round 2. This is like a heavyweight prize fight. Houston behind his back. Leonard on the reach. Points and 5 rebounds here in the first quarter. Heat lead by 4. LJ will fire and hit. Larry Johnson, he has 8 points and has picked up right where he left off in that scorching first round series against Charlotte. And Pat Riley wants a timeout.
Yeah, I'm cheering for the Heat.
What do you think the Heat are going to have to do to knock these guys off?
You know, they're a very good team. They play really good, tough D, and I think that's where we probably struggled a little bit. We didn't push up on them enough, and that's why they hit a lot of shots. And I think that's what the Heat do really well, is push up on people, make it really put the ball on the floor, and I think that's where the Heat, probably have the advantage.
It's always good to see you. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Gentlemen, back to you.
Nice to hear from Matt Geiger. Jack, the 2 small forwards going right after one another. Larry Johnson with 8, Jamal Mashburn has 5. Oakley spins it in, and it will count. And the foul to be charged against Alonzo Mourning. So the first ultra significant play of the first quarter comes right there. Alonzo to Hardaway, corner triple. Kaboom!
That was a nice play by Dan Marley. But you see the New York philosophy run out on the jump shooters. Larry Johnson was down there all by himself. The pass was just overthrown.
Well, the Knicks knew transition defense against Miami's fast break would be critical. Second three-pointer for Miami puts them up by 4, 2.5 to go, first quarter. Brilliant start to this game. With 3. PJ and Oakley battle, and Crotty 1. Minute 40 left, first quarter.
It's doing a little run and jump at the Heat guards.
And John
does a terrific job for this Knicks team. Eric, very good post defender.
And a steadying influence and leader in that New York locker room. John Starks runs down the other end. He picks up his second foul. John's running. Buck Williams comes down with it, saves it in. The Knicks with an early rebound advantage at 12-8 over Miami. Starks down the lane, and Jack again, the Knicks thriving on second opportunities.
Yeah, and you've got to close off that pass to the basket to somebody like John Starks.
Ike in the PJ, deflected and stolen by Childs. Knicks by 2. Childs threw it away. Dan Marley with the intercept and the lead for Crotty. Here comes John. Took a hit and knocked it down.
Great play, Crotty.
Skins defending John Starks. Marley on Larry Johnson, a former Hornet. Doubled. Oakley fires. Got it. Charles Oakley can make that shot. And now Oak has 7 points for the Knicks. Miami by 2. Crotty fouled by Charlie Ward.
Get like the fresh peanuts rather than the other one. That's the only advice I can give them.
Well done. Thank you very much, Ahmad. Eric and Jack, back to you.
Patrick Ewing knocking in the turnaround jumper. 2 things I agreed wholeheartedly with Ahmad Rashad. 1, that this is the best second-round series going, and 2, I got a feeling we could be involved in a 7-game battle. Marley's 3, caroms off, Ewing with a rebound. So the Knicks continue to control the backboard on the rebound advantage. LJ bottled up. And he was off balance. Hardaway took it from Houston. And Don Vaden calls Tim Hardaway for warning. Went out with 8 minutes left in this half. With his third foul, now Tim Hardaway sits down 3 minutes later. Charlie Ward takes the lane. Ike Austin with good defense, but Ward able to finish off.
That's a great play.
Now Charlie Ward, always a favorite here in Florida. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. The Knicks trail Miami by 2. Shot clock at 7. Good defense by the Knicks. Crotty with nowhere to go. And that's a shot clock violation on Miami.
Well, you got to shoot it. You got to shoot it, even though you don't have.
Let us not forget, New York led the league in field goal percentage defense. Miami was second. Dying with her triples. They're 2 for 10. And John Crotty trying to protect. Is up for the rims out. Ewing grabs it back and rams it through.
Oh, that's 3 times loose balls have been picked up by the Knicks and had scored.
But Leonard on an 0 for 9. Here's Houston. Yes. Allen Houston. This is Childs. Johnson guarded by his former Hornet teammate. Knocks it down. Larry Johnson with 14 New York points.
Larry Johnson has carried the load really for the Knicks at the offensive end.
So it's a 1-point Heat lead. Tim Hardaway adds to it. And he's having no trouble getting past Chris Childs.
Well, he said he wouldn't, Eric, and he's been absolutely right so far.
16 points for Tim Hardaway. High point man of the game. Gives the Heat a 3-point lead. LJ wants a clear out with Mashburn. LJ off to Oakley, 20-footer. And the rebound down to Leonard. First rebound for Vashon. PJ lost control, and look who winds up with it. And Charles, look out! Zoe had a dunk. Charlie Ward with the Knicks down 4 and under 4 minutes left in this third quarter. Houston squares for 3.
Too good. Allen Houston coming from the baseline off a big man screen, and Ward doing the playmaking job.
Houston is heating up. He's got a dozen, 8 here in the third quarter, and the Knicks have come back with 7 straight points. Ike got stripped. Here comes Charlie Ward with the Knicks down 1. Oakley sets and hits, and Pat Riley will take his 22nd timeout. 15 minutes. Hardaway has it erased by Ewing. Patrick's second block of the game. Here comes Charlie Ward. Ike Austin returns the favor with a block. Ewing on the loose ball, and he scores.
How many times is that going to happen for the New York Knicks? Balls off the floor and converting them to scores.
11 straight points by New York. This is their biggest lead of the game. And the Heat stay cold. Now this is how the Knicks beat Miami 3 out of 4 during the regular season with these little skirmishes. This has been the best the Knicks have looked here in Game 1. Leonard on Houston. Pulls up on the baseline. Connects.
That's a tough shot.
Now Pat Riley will use a full timeout with 14 each. Brown denied. And the loose ball picked up by Ewing. And the Heat offensive problems have reached the serious stage.
Well, Hardaway is getting to the basket. He can't get anybody to finish.
Both teams shooting under 40%. Houston for 3.
Look out.
Uh-oh. Allen Houston has caught fire. 3 triples here in the third quarter. 11 of his 15 points in this period. And it's now 16 straight points for New York. And they have opened up an 8-point lead. This is Hardaway. Shot clock at 7. Heat appear tentative, and Ewing picks up the foul. That's Patrick Ewing's third foul. So Miami was in command, leading by 8. 5.5 minutes left in this third quarter, and just 4 minutes later, 16 unanswered New York points.
The ebb and flow of the NBA game.
Now Miami simply will have to shoot better to stay in this game, and
Free throws, Eric.
not good enough. Peter 10 of 17 at the foul line. 59%. And the Knicks are having their way. Charlie Ward put it high in the air for Patrick Ewing, and it is now a 22-3 run.
And great back pick by John Starks to set that up.
Miami's down by 11, a game they led by 8 just 5.5 minutes ago. Hardaway steps back and not hit. That's up Ewing. And another offensive rebound for the Knicks. It goes to Charles Oakley, and the foul is on Jamal Mashburn. Oakley with 10 boards, Ewing with 13. Allen Houston off balance, but right on the money. 17 for Houston.
He has been huge. He and Charlie Ward have instigated this run for New York.
Well, the Knicks riding their late third quarter skirmish into a 13-point lead. 10-18 to play. So, deliberate hooks and hits. Charles Oakley just backing away.
And Zoe can get those. Oakley has pretty much given Zoe the path to the basket.
Dozen points from Mourning and another foul on Miami.
Turnovers.
Knicks, 10 more rebounds. Buck Williams outside for a Houston 3-ball. Allen Houston taking over game 1 with his shooting. He has 4 triples here in the second half and 20 points in this game. Actually 22 for Houston. A 14-point New York lead, their biggest so far. PJ out to Marley. Corner Askins for 3.
It's a big hit.
Crusoe makes the catch and is fouled by Charles Oakley.
Good pass, Keith Askins. Good position by Mourning. Watch it happen.
On the shot clock, Patrick Ewing into Oakley. Blocked by PJ. Oh, the defense kicking in. Here comes Hardaway. In the morning, Ewing with a block at the goaltend. And the Heat are back in the game. They've cut a 14-point lead down to 4.
Terrific position by Mourning in transition. Look at him, right in front of the goal. And that ball up there, that looked like a pretty good block to me, Eric. Didn't look like it was on its downward flight, nor had it reached its apex. But I thought Ewing fouled him.
Well, the ebb and flow flowing back in Miami's direction. Mourning with 17 points, just 2 fewer than Ewing, and Miami on a 10-0 blitz since trailing by 14. Well, 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and the Knicks throw it away.
Now that was a good play. You know who caused that turnover? Tim Hardaway. He was overplaying Chris Childs at the wing so that Childs couldn't receive the ball. When Childs went back door, the pass was thrown out of bounds.
Oh my, away from the action on the opposite side of the floor, Don Vadden ate the shoot, and Zoe threw it away. Not a good possession for Miami. Their 11th turnover of the game. Down by 6, back to defense with 5:25 left.
Zoe trying to make that pass off the dribble without having good control of the ball.
And the shot clock was winding down for the Heat. E.J. Brown defending Ewing. Ewing just 6 of 18 for the field tonight. Shot clock at 5. Ewing spins middle, tough shot. Oh, bottoms up for Patrick Ewing.
Tough shot.
Big bucket puts the Knicks back in front by 8 with 5 minutes left. So 4 straight points for New York. EJ down the lane, off the glass, and taken down by Charles Oakley, his 11th rebound. Well, when you're trailing, very little margin for error late in the game. Houston Forning. Ewing with a block. 3 on the shot clock. So fires. And Oakley and Ewing control. So the Heat, on a possession where they needed to score, could not. Now you must have a stop. Under 3 minutes left, Knicks lead by 5. This is Larry Johnson over Dan Marley. Batted around, taken by Leonard. Still, the door of opportunity open in game 1. Hardaway for 3. Mashburn gets the long rebound. He'll shoot a 3. And the Heat living and dying with their three-pointers. Just 5 for 22 from three-point land for Miami.
Eric, there's no need for the quick three-pointer now. The Heat needs scores. 2s will do just as well right now.
Speaking of 2s, 2:15 left in the game. Oh, what a big shot by Chris Childs. His first field goal of 81-73 Knicks. Hardaway feeds Mourning, and Mourning lost it. And no foul on Oakley, but the Heat will keep it with 13 on the shot. Mourning down the lane. Oakley with the foul. Charles Oakley picks up his 5th foul, and when the clock stopped, 1:14 left, again bounce away. Well, Leonard can't shoot like this, so the Heat have a chance to win, and Ewing with authority puts the capper on game 1. And the Knicks are celebrating their apparent game 1 triumph. Patrick Ewing with a game 1 scowl and stuff.
Well, how did Patrick Ewing get so open? The Heat pressuring the ball at the perimeter. Alonzo Mourning left with 2 players to defend, and Ewing taking it right at Zoe and knocking it down with authority.
Well, there is your knockout punch. Ewing with his 23rd point. He also has 16 rebounds, and Tim Hardaway hurries back the other way and draws a foul. Now this will sit uneasy with Pat Riley and his Heat players for game 2 Friday night at 7. The Heat will look to even this series in game 2 before heading back to New York for games 3 and 4, but give the Knicks credit. They turned it around in the 3rd bounds, 5 block shots. So the Knicks take game 1. We'll come back to talk about it here on Sunshine in just a moment. Cross-court feed for a long Oakley jumper, and Charles Oakley drains it. The 12-year veteran gets his first field goal, and the Knicks lead by 2. Mourning against Oakley. Help from Ewing. And Alonzo lines up with Chris Childs. The hit ahead for Larry Johnson. Mashburn is back. Out it comes for a Houston triple. Oh, brother, Allen Houston shooting 60% in the playoffs from three-point land. And after 5 triples in game 1, there's his first 3 of game 2. And the Knicks have opened up an 8-point lead. Hardaway's pass deflected out by New York. Isn't very long. Here's Childs pulling up and rattling down a jumper. So the Knicks hitting up. 6 on the shot clock. Ewing of a jumper. Book it. Patrick Ewing's second field goal. The 11-time All-Star has 4. And the Knicks lead it by 8. So the 2 centers with 4 points apiece. Good look in, but Zoe couldn't hold on. And here comes Chris Childs running right up the back of Austin. And Buck Williams on the follow-up tip-in.
Transition basketball paying dividends for the Knicks. They should not be able to run on the Miami Heat.
This is New York's largest lead of the first quarter. Up 10 with 1:46 to go. And Allen Houston to the lane and out to Ewing. Book it. And Patrick Ewing will do that all night if he's that open.
And a good penetration by Allen Houston. I commented about his ability to put it on the floor suddenly.
Here's Ike aiming. And Patrick Ewing with his 7th rebound. Minute left in the first quarter. Knicks by 10. John Starks, who did not shoot well in game 1, just 1 for 8. Buck Williams swings in, and Ike Austin commits the foul.
You got to finish.
This is John Starks firing a triple. Book it. John Starks. A little more than 10 minutes left first half as Larry Johnson gets by Askins, gets the bucket, and it will count, plus the foul. For the Knicks. LJ launches and hits. Good outside shooter, Larry Johnson, now with 7 points. 5 of them here in the second quarter. That ended a 5-point Miami run. New York up 7. Nash in the post. Comes out.
Pat Riley wants this matchup.
Now LJ reaching in, picks up his 3rd foul.
That's a good play by the coach to make the call. He wanted to get Mashburn against Larry Johnson. Larry not too quick-footed. You see him reach with his right hand as Mash crosses over and drives it into the paint. And Mash gets the play, and Larry Johnson beats the tom-tom.
Yes,
he's signaling for help on that play.
Sending down, little SOS signal to the bench goes LJ with 3 fouls. Allen Houston is back in the game. Not sure if that's a good thing or not. Houston has been terrific in the playoffs for New York. Morning set the screen. John Starks ran right over the top of it. John Starks, his first foul, New York's 4th.
Well, Zoe was holding his breath that foul wouldn't be called against him, but clearly John Starks tried to run right through the screen.
Looking for good news. Alonzo Mourning has yet to pick up a foul, and that news has come to an abrupt end. Mourning called for that foul. Oops.
That's unnecessary, Eric. Zoe stepped right out. So the Lord giveth, and he taketh away.
Please. Rebound taken by Mourning, his 7th rebound, and John Starks with the steal. Oh, another costly turnover. Starks for the cutting Houston, and a Miami foul. The second opportunities for New York. Tough shot. Oakley with the offensive rebound and the foul by Triple.
Great work, Ike Austin.
Kept it alive. Mourning drew the foul and got the bucket. This is Leonard. Back to John Crotty. Down the lane he comes. Ewing with a vicious block shot.
That's a terrific play, Patrick Ewing.
New York holds on to a 5-point lead. Patrick Ewing with his 2nd block shot of this game. He had 5 in game 1. Look out. Ewing lost it. Starks able to save it. Knocked John Crotty down. Here's Childs for 3. And the long rebound. Charles Oakley, what an offensive rebounder. Out to Ewing. Right at Zoe. Good defense without the foul. Miami down 5. Leonard. They will not allow him to get a good look at 3. The Knicks making Leonard one of their defensive focal points. Zoe swings in for the hook. And out of bounds off New York. Flip for Austin. And that is a loose ball foul on Charles Oakley. His 3rd foul. Jack Charles Oakley, 7th best offensive rebounder in NBA playoff history. When he sees it, he goes for it.
Watch this drive by Crotty. Gives off to Ike Austin. Now let's watch Charles Oakley.
Down to Leonard. The Heat can tie it up with a 2. Take a lead with a 3.
Kaboom! Tim Hardaway. That all started at the defensive end. Fast break basketball for Miami.
The Miami Heat on a major run. They were down 10. They're now up 1. Buck Williams sends it out. Here's an open lane for Childs. Oh, brother, he missed the dunk. Hardaway pokes it ahead, but a foul on Alonzo Mourning. A very aggressive maneuver by Chris Childs, forcing Mourning to commit his second. But a big run back for Miami. And the night the Heat doing well at the foul line. 13 out of 17. Hardaway down the lane for the score. Yes, sir!
Tim Hardaway.
Comes Leonard off to Timmy. Fakes the three. Fires the three. And Mashburn with the offensive rebound. Game even at 40. The Heat will circle it out with 1:10 left in the first half. Hardaway. Yes! Oh, a triple! Tim Hardaway.
Talk about confidence, Eric. He waved Alonzo Mourning out of the way to give himself shooting space for that last three-point bomb.
Jack, Tim Hardaway has 20 first-half points. And the Heat lead by 3 under a minute left, first half. Buck Williams turns on Mourning. Tough shot. Hardaway picks it off the floor. Heat lead by 3. Hardaway playing with big confidence on the runner. 22 for Timmy.
Look at that Heat bench. They're fired up. The fans are fired up.
Here's Herb Williams. Shot clock down to 7. Shot clock at 2. Don't foul here. Houston got away with steps and rolled it in. Allen Houston knocking it in. 45-42 Miami. Houston has 9 points.
We're at 5. Gotta go, Timmy.
Long 3.
Yeah! Oh! Whoa! Tim Hardaway! The easy way for Tim Hardaway.
A 25-point first-half explosion for Tim from the field. Takes the big step. Tough defense by P.J. Johnson over Mashburn's back, and he spins it in. LJ with 9 points, working hard on the backboard.
I think you'll see the Knicks more determined at that backboard this half. The Heat have to respond to that.
Mashburn and P.J. Brown did not score in the first half. Leonard had just 2. And another turnover on Miami as Mourning and LJ are all tied up, and down they go.
And Mourning is going to come away with a foul on this, I think, Eric.
Yep. Yeah, that's number 3 on Alonzo Mourning. So he picks up his 3rd, 48 seconds into the second half. Check it, just his 2nd? Yes. That helps. In the zone. One-on-one against Buck. There's the double from Childs. Look out. Childs knocked it away. And here comes Chris. Mashburn back. Childs puts on the brakes. Houston along 2. Got it. Allen Houston.
Pat Riley's going to take a 20.
The baseline. And Oakley has the offensive rebound. Childs for 3.
Second chance point.
Oh boy, 11 straight points for New York. And the Childs 3 brings the body-thumping Knicks back to within 1. The Knicks down 1. Oakley fires, and the Knicks are up 1. 13 straight points for New York, while Patrick Ewing sits on the bench with 4 fouls.
Big-time turnaround for the Knicks, Eric. I had said earlier the Knicks must make hay while Ewing was on the bench. They need it from that guy, and he delivers.
Early in this 3rd quarter. 4 minutes left in it. Starks sends it out for an Oakley jumper. Charles Oakley drilling corner jump shots to the tune of 10 points. And we are even at 59. 3.5 left in the 3rd quarter. Mourning draws double defense. Comes in strong and draws a foul.
And again, Zoe taking the path of least resistance.
Game 2, tough shot for Houston. Long rebound, batted out, taken by the Knicks, Chris Childs. By the way, Miami tonight, 7 of 14 from 3, and Buck with the stuff, and the foul by Mourning, who picks up his 3rd, as Buck Williams rammed it through to tighten us up again. It's a 3-point lead for the Heat.
Well, through miscommunication, Buck Williams was left all by himself underneath. And the Knicks, of course, found him. Take a look. There's Buck Williams under the basket all by himself, and Alonzo Mourning coming too late. Delivers the foul to Buck, and Buck stuffs it down. Watch Buck. That's good concentration by Buck.
And John starts with a steal. Miami's 14th turnover. Childs basket hanging out to Houston. The double jack jam.
Well, turnovers for the this is huge intensity.
Starks, look out! Wow, he was taken out. And the foul is on Tim Hardaway. And that's the kind of series you knew you would have when Miami and New York collided here in the second round. And Zoe is one foul away from being out of this game. Ewing going right after it. Makes the shot. Big players making big plays. Patrick Ewing
yet to turn it over in the fourth.
Been a major blemish in Miami's attack tonight. 19 turnovers. Only 9 for the team that led the league in turnovers this year in New York. Ewing pumps PJ and scores. Patrick Ewing getting it done here in the fourth quarter. Under 3 minutes to go. What a ball game Game 2 has been. Ewing against PJ, comes up, it rims around and drops, and Patrick Ewing is getting it done. He had 6 points through 3 quarters, but now he has 17, so Ewing has responded with 11 fourth quarter points. Here comes Crotty, taking it by himself. What a block by Johnson, and Marley missed the follow. Way up 1. 6 on the shot clock. Down the 3, so better hurry. And an offensive foul on Mourning, and he's out of the game. Oh, what a rotten way for the game to end for Alonzo Mourning. He fouls out with 24 points, 13 rebounds, 5 blocks, and 8 turnovers.
Let's watch it. Zoe trying to get, yes, using his elbow against Charles Oakley. See, once you do that, and the officials see that, they'll call that every time. That's an unfortunate way, as you said, Eric, for Zoe to foul out. Now Jamal Mashburn in. P.J. Brown will have to do it against Ewing by himself.
And the Heat will have to go without their captain and all-star.
They're going with Allen Houston.
Houston, tough shot. He puts the Knicks up 1, and Miami wants a timeout. Pat Riley can't believe Houston was not called for an offensive foul.
That's the same kind of play. Let's look at this and watch Allen Houston as he steps under. Let's see it.
Hardaway turns the corner. Down the lane for the runner over Ewing, and the Heat lead by 1.
Tim Hardaway again to the rescue. Now it's going to be Pat Ewing and Allen Houston. Going to be their show.
Nobody using a seat here at the arena now. 35 seconds left. Chris Childs behind Ewing. 7 on the shot clock. Childs spinning. Childs missing. Marley with a rebound. Heat by 1.
The Heat can hold here. The Knicks will be in the penalty if they commit a foul. And Jeff Van Gundy is going to double team Tim Hardaway.
A 2-second difference on the shot clock with the Heat up 1. Game 2 winding down. A score would put it away. Nash for 3. Yeah! He did it! He did it!
4 shots for him. Tough underneath. Finally, Ewing pounds it home. His first basket. Mourning jockeying with Oakley for position. Foul called. Charles Oakley. The officials for today's game: Ed F. Rush, Bernie Fryer, and Joy Crawford.
Tom, we talked about how important it was for both Patrick and for Zoe to stay on the floor. You sure don't want to pick up funny offensive fouls, and that's what both players have done in the early minutes of this game.
Off a screen, Leonard. Finds Brown. Again, he's the open man. This time he hits. Only 1 of 3, but finally P.J. Brown gets one down, and Miami's up by 1. From outside, Oakley can't hit. Offensive board, Ewing. Then he lost it out of bounds. Miami ball.
Well, if Miami's going to give up anything on the Knicks' offensive end of the floor, they will be glad to give up that 18-foot jump shot by Oakley and take their chances.
Mashburn, another three. Jamal Mashburn with 2 3-pointers in 2 attempts, and Miami has its biggest lead. Houston, entry pass to Ewing, lost it out of bounds.
And the Knicks are running, they pointed the wrong way. It's a Knicks ball, but the Knicks are running an awful lot of screens for Allen Houston. You got the feeling, talking to some of the players and to Jeff Van Gundy yesterday, they don't think Vashawn Leonard can cover Allen Houston.
Houston with 27 points in game 1, 19 in game 2. Ewing. And Patrick Ewing has struggled in his shooting from the floor. Patrick coming into today's game only 14 of 43.
And being criticized for taking that fall-away jump shot, Tom, instead of taking the ball strong to the basket.
Patrick telling us that he's gotten some pretty good looks at the basket, just hasn't been able to hit. Mashburn, he's had the hot hand early. That's just inside the arc and short. Childs takes it on the fly.
First 2 3-pointers came to him. He forced that shot.
Knocked out of bounds.
Both of them extremely hard workers.
Allen Houston, his 4th point of this first period, and pulls New York within 2. Full court pressure from the New York guards. Have to give Allen Houston some credit for shutting off Vashawn Leonard too, as Leonard finally connects with that 3-pointer.
And that's a huge basket for Leonard, because he's really been struggling. Everybody talking about Starks, but Leonard shooting the ball even worse than John has been. And they ran a pick for him, popped him open, got him a nice look for his first shot. That should help his confidence. From up top, watch.
And as you saw, Miami is 3 for 3 from behind the arc. Another outside shot by Oakley, and again, that plays right into Miami's hands.
Exactly. Oakley now has missed his first 3 perimeter jump shots.
Great catch by Mourning. Creates a little space and hits the jump hook.
Well, doing off the offensive boards.
Knicks back within 8. Hardaway penetrates, dishes, shot by Leonard, good from that same spot behind the arc. And Miami has not missed a 3-point shot, 5 for 5.
The matchups, he's the first to heat off the bench.
Ewing. Hardaway matched up with Childs, whips it to Mourning. Ewing comes over to pick him up. He got rid of it to Leonard, and he hits another 3. Vashawn Leonard, slumbering through the first 2 games of this series, is 4 for 4 from behind the arc.
And the Heat have found somebody to help Mourning and Hardaway. Now it's up to the Knicks to find somebody to help Ewing and Houston on the offensive end.
This is Houston. Shoots over Leonard with a trifecta of his own. Oakley, the offensive board, and he lays it in.
Well, that's Charles Oakley's game right there. Probably the best offensive rebounder in the game right now.
Very much. It was unexpected, but I knew if some other coach was going to call me at 6:30 in the morning, it would be him.
Yeah, that was it. It was 6:30 in the morning, and when Riley found Van Gundy at the office at 6:30, he said, you're still acting like an assistant coach, not a head coach. There's a steal by Ward, and Starks had it knocked away, but a foul on John Crotty. Patrick Ewing breaking out of the shooting slump anyway. He's 4 of 5 to open this game. Hardaway threw a bad pass, picked off by Starks. Williams runs the floor, fouled by Marlin. Pass to Mourning. Buck Williams has the defensive assignment on him now. And Alonzo called. Ewing facing up on Mourning and scoring over Alonzo. That's 10 for Patrick. Oakley still can't get it down and finally draws the foul. Foul call on Childs.
Technical
foul as well.
You can't show up an official like that and Childs slapping his hand, and the minute he did it,
Rolls and gets the pass. Oakley stripped it away with help from Ward. Here's Charlie Ward to Oakley and one. At inside position, Ewing went up top to get it. Oakley.
I think Larry Johnson has to get more involved in the offense here. The Heat covering Larry Johnson with Mashburn or with Marley, and that's a matchup that New York must take advantage of.
Heat inverting their offense here. Mashburn at the point. Hardaway running baseline, but unable to shake Charlie Ward. Mourning's open. Again, that pretty outside shot. Alonzo Mourning, he's in double figures.
And a good job of Miami running their offense that time. They brought both Hardaway and Leonard off of the morning screen, and Zoe popped open.
Houston misses. Hardaway has it. 35 seconds left, second quarter. At a 15-second differential, Leonard launches the three. Ewing skies for the rebound. And New York will hold for the final shot. Oakley with a screen for Ward. Charlie Ward. Houston fall away over P.J. Brown. Pretty bucket.
Well, that was a good decision by Allen. He's being covered by a big man on the perimeter. Get that big guy to move his feet, then take that fall-away shot.
Only 3 of 10 shooting by Houston today, who's been so hot for New York in the playoffs. Hardaway threw a bad pass intended for Mourning. Hardaway, one of the NBA leaders in assist-to-turnover ratio on the positive side, which led to a $1 million bonus. At that time, his turnover leads to a Ewing slam.
Patrick caught P.J. Brown, the defender, on the high side, spun baseline, and Miami.
Ewing out on the floor, puts it on the floor against P.J. Brown, and scores. Patrick Ewing.
Well, with Miami in all the foul trouble, believe you me, New York knows it, and they're going to spend the rest of this game taking the ball hard to the basket.
At the 9-0 run for New York. Fall away Hardaway. It was the Hardaway, and Mourning saves with a wide open look. Childs. Hardaway able to save that pass to P.J. Brown. Miami with the ball up 1. Mashburn driving, cut off by Ewing, threw it right to Oakley. Knicks with a chance to take the lead. Larry Johnson against Mashburn. Passed up the shot. Now backing in. Fall away. New York in front.
Very tough shot by Larry Johnson, but now he's starting to realize that the mismatch is certainly going to play in his favor.
New York with its first lead since 4-3. Mashburn can't answer for Miami. Childs. Johnson hacked by Mourning. Alonzo Mourning picking up his 4th foul. Miami on his shoulders. Ewing, no backside help from the Miami defense. Ewing lays it in.
Front Ewing on the low post, you got to make sure you've got defensive help behind him.
Here's the ball in the hands of Tim Hardaway again. The cutting Leonard from Hardaway.
Tough shot by
Johnson misses from outside. Ewing, perfect timing on the offensive rebound. Then he gets the roll.
Well, what happened was switching defense by Miami. They wound up with Mashburn guarding Ewing underneath the basket, and that's why Patrick was able to get the offensive rebound.
18 points, 9 boards for Patrick. Mashburn with a dish to Brown, who's fouled by Ewing, I believe. Nice catch by Patrick. Marley got it away, and Ward to Starks. That looked like one of those Heisman passes at Florida State.
And a nice play designed by Van Gundy to come out and get Starks an easy basket and get him involved in the offense.
With this team on the floor, where are they going to get points? It almost has to be Hardaway. Resulted in 61 regular season wins. Houston able to shake Marley for the three. How did he do that?
I don't know. I don't know, because he really didn't shake Marley. He shook him, but Marley was still there.
Buck Williams and Alonzo Mourning.
Marley right under the chin. Tough shot. From the far side of the lane, Starks thought he had an easy layup. Mourning knocking it away.
Then Charlie Ward took it away, and Starks slams it home. Knicks have their biggest lead. Starks, foul on...
Not only the block, but as well with the rebound, but then Starks beating Mourning down the floor.
Hardaway, pick and roll to Austin. Blocked by Buck Williams, but he fouled him. And a technical foul on Buck. Overhauled Miami. The Heat led by a dozen in the first half. At one point. Patrick Ewing, as always, one of the main guns for the Knicks.
And Patrick getting fired up. That was a nice little low post move, getting the shot over Ike Austin.
22 for Patrick. Mourning held to 12 so far in the battle of the former Georgetown big men. Leonard, open three. Air ball. He made his lob to Ewing. Again, Mourning fronting, and Austin too late on the weak side help.
What has to happen is as soon as Ike Austin sees that ball is in the air, he's got to get down there and cover up for Zoe, who's on the front side.
Game 3 so far has belonged to the teacher Ewing over the pupil Mourning. Their Alonzo answers, though. Leonard, P.J. Brown. 3 to shoot. Marley lost it. Hardaway way out on the floor. Shot clock violation. Miami just did not look in sync. Give the Knicks defense credit. They took them out of any offensive pattern they wanted to run.
They really did. There was never an opportunity to shoot the basketball, and as a result, Hardaway has to downtown, and Pat says, that was not a good offensive trip for us. Move it up to the front court, but it has to stay on this side of the floor where Ewing went out of bounds.
13-4 left. New York leads by 3. Hardaway, the inbounds from Mashburn. Chris Childs on the defense. Miami's down 3. Hardaway picked up by Ewing, who blocks it. Patrick Ewing with a block, and the defensive play of the game.
Good play, because Ewing knows that they're going to try to get the ball off of his screen at the top of the floor, and he runs over. He knows Hardaway's the only player that's going to take that shot in that situation, and that closes it out right there.
Well, we talked about big men handling the ball out on the floor. That time, the big man was out on the floor for defensive purposes and made a game-saving play. That'll do it. teacher, Patrick Ewing, with a schoolbook, textbook play, blocking the attempted tying shot and saving the game for the New York Knicks. 25 points, 11 rebounds for Patrick Ewing as the New York Knicks take a 2-1 lead in the series with the Miami Heat. Let's go to Paul Sunderland, who is with Patrick Ewing. Paul?
This one was in doubt till the very end. Talk about the last timeout before the defensive stand and your block on Timmy.
As the Miami Heat come to town to take on the New York Knicks, with New York in this best-of-7 series currently leading.
From the Garden, Madison Square Garden, 33rd Street, 7th Avenue, downtown New York City. Tonight, the 217th consecutive sellout here. That means 19,763 in the Knicks house for Game 4 of this best-of-7 series. New York leads it 2-1. Miami, the NBA's best road team this year, and coach, the Heat looking for their first road win of the playoffs tonight. Pat Riley says they must play every minute with a great sense of urgency.
There's no question about that, Eric. Don't leave anything in the tank. Spend it all, because only the best effort will win the game.
Comes out with a pass to Patrick Ewing. First Knick possession, Houston hit for three. Here's Zoe again with a hook. This time he finds the range, and Miami is on the board with morning's first field goal.
Great effort play by Zoe. Had shots, good shots at both times.
This is Chris Childs, the third-year guard out of Boise State, signed as a free agent after 2 years with the Nets. LJ wide open and hits.
Oh, slow rotation. Jamal Mashburn expected the weak side player to come and pick up LJ. P.J. Brown got there too late.
Neither team has shot anywhere near 50% in this series, but the Knicks have made their first two. P.J. on the offensive board, an aggressive putback for P.J. Brown. Right at Ewing, he fired the jumper, and Miami trails 5-4.
And the Heat has scored on 2 effort plays, 2 hustle plays on both possessions.
Remember yesterday's first quarter, Miami jumped in front by 12, led by 8 at the half. Nice move by Childs. Top side Oakley for the jumper. And black shirts around the board. Jamal Mashburn comes away with it. Nash averaging almost 6 rebounds a game in the playoffs. Nice dish for PJ, and he hits the reverse. Ewing stood straight and tall, and Brown blew by him, and the Heat have their first lead.
And that started with a Jamal Mashburn penetration. That's key, Eric. Jamal has to put the ball on the floor and get shots for his teammates.
Houston got free off a screen. Leonard did not get there in time. Allen Houston has knocked in a couple of jumpers, so he has 5 of the Knicks. 7 Hardaway. All the way for Timmy.
The Heat just rushing the ball up the floor. That's what Coach Riley wants. He wants transition scores. The team that gets the most of those is going to win this game.
Easy shots have been tough to come by in this series. Childs out to Oakley, wide open. And the Oak knocks it down. Now, Jeff Van Gundy said yesterday, you know, one of these games, both coaches will be surprised we'll have an offensive game. It started off that way here in Game 4. 9-8 New York, 9:23 left, first quarter. Mash on the drive. Beautiful setup for Zoe. And Jamal Mashburn has gone from passive to active here in Game 4.
Well, he's been encouraged to do just this, Eric, by the coaches and his teammates.
Very entertaining start to Game 4. Hardaway with a steal. Here comes the Heat on the run. Timmy always with his head up. The lead for PJ. What a pass! But Morning fans on the shot. We have played 3 frantic minutes. LJ gets free, and neither club defending very well here in the opening minutes.
Oh, that was a great passing play. Great lure by Chris Childs, and a look-away pass wide open underneath.
11-10 New York. Leonard back to Zoe. Fakes a shot, comes in. Over to PJ, and he's got to come out with it. Leonard fires a triple, and P.J. Brown with his second offensive rebound. Leonard hits the reverse. A very aggressive start on the offensive end. Bottled up. 8 to shoot. Johnson will for 3. Larry Johnson, 7 points here in the first.
Aggressive game. Both ends of the floor.
That's what it takes. Tied at 14. 5 minutes left. Opening quarter. Ewing on the jumper for 2. First field goal for Patrick Ewing.
Tough judgment passes to make. Hardaway is superb at it.
P.J. Brown, a 6-point, 5-rebound first quarter. Miami up 2. LJ ties the game, and LJ off to a very good start. He's got 9 for the Knicks.
Getting open just long enough to get that jump shot space that he needs.
4 of 6 shooting for Larry Johnson. How even are these clubs? LJ with the foul on offense. Larry Johnson already with 9 points. He's doubled with a shot clock at 8. Ewing squares over Brown. What a shot, because P.J. Brown was right in his face.
Indeed.
P.J. run at him and got away with steps. Starks for 3. Yes.
He needs to be quick.
Tim Hardaway with a half-court rib rattler. John Starks. Mash against Johnson. LJ put it right back at him, but Larry Johnson. Nice lob for Austin. Swatted out of bounds by Charles Oakley.
Big play by Oak.
Lead of more than 2 tonight. Zoe in the lane, fouled hard by Charles Oakley before the shot. So Charles Oakley yesterday into the lane for the jumper. Patrick Ewing with 6. 1 of 6 from three-point line.
John Starks, second triple. After a drought in the first 3 games, John Starks seems to have the touch tonight.
Yes, 1 for 10 in the first 3, and he's dropped in 2 3-pointers here in Game 4. They'll timeout to the Heat. This 4-point lead for New York, the largest lead for either side here in Game 4. And of course, Zoe can outrun most big men in this league, so the Heat want to hit that play. 6:21 left in the first half. Houston for 3. That shot is so pretty.
Well, Allen Houston has a great stroke. Pat Riley wants him defended right in his face. He can also put it on the floor a little bit.
8 points for Allen Houston. He has 2 of New York's 4 threes in this game. Mash through. Mash off glass, and Ewing brings it down. Ewing has 4 rebounds. The Knicks lead by 5, their biggest lead, make it 7.
Oh, that's a great pass by Charlie Ward. That's a superb pass, Charlie Ward.
Biggest lead of the game for either club. And John Starks here in Game 4, finally a facsimile. Mourning keeps it alive, but down it comes to Charlie Ward. Here's Houston. Houston driving, scoring, and it counts.
Well, Allen Houston got out and ran, and Charlie Ward again with that pass. This is what Ward did with the ball in this guy's hands, Charlie Ward.
5 minutes to go in the first half. New York leads by 9. Starks comes in and scores again. And all of a sudden, he is the John Starks of old.
Pat Riley's going to take a 20-second timeout. He wants to cool John Starks down.
Success with Charlie Ward, John Starks, and Allen Houston in his backcourt.
Houston is a tough guy. Ooh, Starks again.
Oh, he's torching for Sean Leonard right now.
Indeed. Yes, indeed. To get into the paint.
On the way, Allen Houston leading the Knicks with 13 points. Willie Anderson's lob picked off by John Starks. 7th turnover and a hard foul by Willie Anderson. This game getting away from Miami just a bit. They're down by 13 with 3:22 left in the first half.
Well, you're going to see Willie try to throw this ball over the top. John Starks coming from the weak side knocks that loose, continues up the floor, and then makes the pass.
That'll hurt you every time. Knicks by 15, just over 3 minutes to play in the second quarter that's turned into a nightmare for Miami. Ewing fakes, fires, and is fouled. And we get a timeout here in New York, where the Knicks have taken over the second quarter of Game 4. Regarding New York, I'm Eric Reed along with Jack Ramsey in our control center here in New York. Producer Chris Barch, director Aaron Silverman. We're all pleased to welcome you to the 1997 NBA playoffs. Jack, a tight game broken open here in the second quarter. The Knicks have outscored the Heat 23-9 in this period.
23-9, Eric, and turnovers become a key stat. Miami has 7 turnovers, and they have been responsible for 13 New York points. The Knicks, remember, the Knicks led the league in turnovers with 18 a game. Their average averaging only 13 turnovers a game in this series. So far, have 5 turnovers, but the Heat has not scored on any of them. So the Knicks enjoying a 13-0.
Knicks were able to come back from double-figure deficits to win. Oakley, that's his shot. Nice setup by Starks.
Indeed, John Starks has been a huge factor in this game.
He'd have been outscored in the quarter, 26-11. They're down 16 again. This is Patrick Ewing, Zoe defending.
Oh
boy, how do you stop that shot this game? Larry Johnson, all 9 of his points up until that shot in the first quarter. A triple for LJ.
You heard Tony Fiorentino say the Heat has to do a better job on screen and rolls. Larry Johnson got a 3-pointer out of it.
12 for Larry Johnson, his second triple. Halfway through this third quarter, Zoe moving in on Ewing, who doesn't go for the fake, and now we get a foul on New York. And it is on Patrick Ewing, number.
Heat need a score.
Hardaway tried to split the defense, could not. What hustle by Oakley! What hustle by Oakley! Houston for 3. That's a marvelous play by Charles Oakley. I don't care who he plays for.
He does it all the time, Eric. And Pat Riley's going to take a timeout to talk this over. The Heat is being, in Riley's terms, outworked.
Spike Lee and the Garden crowd responding. Knicks led by 15 at the half. Ewing over PJ.
Patrick Ewing has become a monster in this game.
He's been a monster in this series. And Zoe on the catch, called for an offensive foul. And the Heat are unraveling here. Here he comes. Charlie Ward to the lane. Outside Starks. 15-footer for 2. 13 points for John Starks, and the Knicks lead by 13.
And it all started when Patrick Ewing kept that missed shot alive. Second chance points.
Final minute, third quarter. Mash off balance, but on target. 9 points for Jamal Mashburn. His first field goal, his first points of the second half. And still, despite all their problems, Miami hanging around in this game. Starks, quick shot into the corner. Oh, a triple for John Starks.
Well, he just worked the baseline, worked the screen from one side to the other, and shot it as he caught it.
John Starks with 16 points, his best game of the series. Anderson's triple bounces off, and Marley took it away. Let's see what the call is. Here's Patrick, open jumper, book it.
Well, that's great ball movement by New York.
18 for Patrick Ewing. And the Knicks will take a 16-point lead into the fourth quarter of Game 4. This is Buck Williams.
That's ominous when Buck Williams makes a jump shot, folks.
What's that tell you?
You're in for a tough night. Not that we didn't know that already, but Buck notoriously a weak shooter from the edges.
And he's earned his living over his long 16-year NBA career with his rebounding and his defense.
Hopelessly out of this game, Eric. 13 points. Not a huge deficit. Tough defense. No second shots.
John Starks with a runner. 18 for John Starks. Clearly his best game of this series. And you knew it was just a matter of time before the league's top 6th man would explode. He had been awful in this series. Just 20 points in the first 3 games and 18 tonight. Crotty drills a triple. And that's just the 3rd Miami three-pointer tonight.
Leads at 12. Now don't go away, folks.
Yes, put that remote down. Kick your feet up. Enjoy the rest of Game 4 with us. Just under 8 minutes left in this game. Starks.
Oh, my.
Well, can you believe this? John Starks, 20 points in the first 3 games, 20 points here in game 4. Ice at 9 and a special in the house at 9:30. Well, right behind Allen Houston, the great one, New York Rangers star Wayne Gretzky.
Big basketball fan, Eric. That's what I like about Gretzky, even though he plays hockey.
Of course, Florida Panther fans remember Gretzky well. What a move by Ewing. He's got 20. John Starks with 20.
Well, this is a team game. No one guy does it or doesn't do it for you, but that's a big hoop by Larry Johnson right there.
Larry Johnson with 14, and the lead is back to 15. That was the margin at halftime. Alonzo Mourning just fouled out. And those are the kind of plays that have really cost him and his team. There was no need for that. He threw an elbow while setting the screen.
When you're setting screens, you hold your position and let the offensive player use you.
On Wallace and Scott Brooks all come on. So this a curtain call for the Knicks.
3 games to 1.
Have yet to break down the lane. Off to Ewing. Book it. That's Tootin in the lane. Leonard forces the fadeaway, but Allen Houston knocks it.
With the ball in forcing shots or maybe trying to maneuver for shots.
Fans wanted to travel. Starks maneuvers for a jumper and knocks it down. John Starks, 21 in game 4. John Starks, another deep one. Here's Oakley, a deep jumper, and he hits. Charles Oakley's first field goal. Oak has 4, and Miami's lead is 1. Austin has not made a shot last 2 games, and I think playing at too high a level in Williams. Charles Oakley. Oakley will fire, and 6 rebounds for the Heat. 3 to shoot. Ward. Nice pass! Oh my! Buck Williams. Hammer time. Burn Austin, Leonard, and P.J. Brown. Lob for Ewing. Jack White of the shot clock winding down. Ewing to the dotted line. That's his spot. 8 points for Patrick. Ewing against PJ, turns baseline and hits.
Oh boy, he's tough.
Patrick Ewing with 11 points.
Yes, he has so improved his game, being able to take the ball on dribbles into the basket area.
Hardaway does not use the morning screen. This is Brown faking, firing, and it rims out. Patrick Ewing reaching high for his 4th rebound. Houston pulls up a 3 and drills it. Allen Houston, his first triple of this game, his 10th. Double team from Houston. Again, Zoe comes middle and is fouled. Childs into the lane, out to Oakley, 21-footer, right there. Charles Oakley has 8 points. Oakley also has 7 rebounds. New York leads by 2. Ewing maneuvers into the paint. Tough shot, and it sticks. Patrick Ewing has 13 points. Miami's lead is 2. 6. 3 to shoot. Leonard under duress. Got it! And a foul! Leonard! Leonard! Leonard!
Oh boy, he's coming up big
in the first quarter to an 11-point advantage. Nice pass. John Wallace, the rookie. John Starks with 8 points in this game. Boy, Lightning striking twice. Best of 7 Eastern semifinal. Starks
into you, tries to antagonize you, set up plays, get you to lose your cool. And in recent years, he's been able to keep his.
Wallace nearly coughed it up. Starks for 3. Oh, brother. John Starks has been a killer in this 3rd quarter. 9 points for Starks in the quarter. So Starks hits a big triple to end the 3rd, and Miami, needing this game to stay alive, will take a 7-point lead into the 4th quarter of Game 5.
At it.
You know, it's amazing. It's the 3rd time in the last 2 games that John Starks, the mighty growl of John Starks. Starks on the drive off the clear out, and he lays it in on the reverse. Well-devised setup by New York. Starks with 21. And the Heat turn it over. Tim Hardaway with a bad pass. Houston for three. Rattles it down. And just that quickly, it's a three-point game. To the wing, down to Ewing. Hits the jumper. Good ball work by New York. Patrick Ewing with 19. And Miami leads by 2. Well, the stage is set. Who's going to make the plays late in this game? Halfway through the fourth quarter. Mourning, this holding. Bumping with Buck. Hardaway changes his mind on the three. Zoe with a jump hook. It bounces in. Thank goodness. The Heat need every bounce for three.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Deshaun Leonard! That's a big one, folks.
Here in the biggest game of the year, there is your biggest play so far tonight.
PJ right on the spot as he's been throughout this game, and an offensive foul for the New York Knicks.
Oh, Charles Oakley ought to be thrown out of this game for what he just did. He was hit with a technical foul. Charles, you're wrong right now. Now P.J. Brown and Chris Childs, former teammates with the New Jersey Nets, getting into it.
Referee Bill Oakes keeping this under control.
And Oakley has been thrown out. And here is a message to New York. You will not do this in our house. No, not tonight. The Heat want back at New York in New York. A minute 55 left in game 5. Miami leads by 12. Charles Oakley, 2 technicals, has benched. Well, after game 4, I was reminded of the quote Pat Riley used after the Heat lost Juwan Howard. Here I lie, wounded but not slain. I will rise to fight again. The Heat have done just that. And the fight will continue in New York Friday night for game 6. And it actually starts right now.
Oh, my.
Oh, an ugly melee underneath Miami's basket. And I believe it is John Wallace, P.J. Brown at the bottom, and there's somebody underneath there. How did this thing erupt? Charlie Ward at the bottom of this pile, and it still continues. Oh, my goodness, this has gotten downright ugly and frightening. Starks and Mourning are in a clinch.
Eric, you can't have this kind of thing. These players cannot risk.
Oh, my God, Dan Marley still wants out.
But you can't have it, Eric. You got to play under control. These players are risking suspension the next game. Now they have to understand that. Those are NBA rules. If you get into a fight.
Well, I didn't see how that whole thing erupted.
I missed it either. Hopefully we'll get a replay.
P.J. Brown has been ejected from the game. He will walk off to the Heat locker room. He played a spectacular game. 18 points, 12 rebounds for a true Miami Heat hero in P.J. Brown. It was a timeout on the floor as they sorted out. Miami leads game 5, 90-74 with a minute 53 left. It has been a wild night here in South Florida. Well, what will this mean for game 6? You wonder if either player will be suspended for that game. We hope not.
Well, I don't think so. It doesn't warrant suspension in either case. But uncalled for by Ward. Totally uncalled for.
Has been called on the Knicks. John Starks.
John Starks has been hit with a technical foul. So he is also ejected. So the Knicks have had Starks, Oakley, and Ward all ejected from this game.
See, Eric, players cannot leave the bench. If there's an altercation on the floor, no player can leave the bench and enter into it. And John Starks, we saw him out at half court. The fans bending their displeasure.
Oh, well, this has turned into a night in the professional wrestling circuit.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Tim Hardaway, amidst all the mayhem, makes another free throw. Timmy 4 of 4 from the line here in the fourth quarter, has 15 points.
Pass another survival test, and right here in downtown New York, the Heat need a win to extend their season to a 7th game, which would be back at Miami Arena Sunday afternoon. The Knicks, a short-handed, wounded team, you know they'll come out with high intensity, energy, and emotion, and that is the first hurdle the Heat have to get by here in this thrilling night.
Eric, a raucous crowd. This crowd will try to inspire the Knicks players, all of whom need very little inspiration at this point. Players love games like this. They love the atmosphere. They love the big game, and it will be a test to see which team can.
And we are underway in Game 6. And the Knicks will have to play that same type of defense, but do it without the foul trouble tonight. They don't have the depth. Mashburn guards Larry Johnson. He'll be a key man on the offensive end. And that's a nice way for just 7 of 29 from the field. Here's Childs. He hits.
Childs really pumped up in this one. Tim Hardaway with a chance to run.
4-2 in New York. Hardaway for 3. And Tim Hardaway continues to misfire. 27% shooting last 3 games. Childs down the other end. And Chris Childs has given the Knicks a 6-2 lead.
And the Knicks getting transition out of Hardaway's perimeter shot. Knicks look to run out and they shoot from the edge.
Knicks have hit 3 of their first 4 shots. Morning, very deliberate. Setup, out it comes. 7 to shoot. The drop step baseline. The tip does not go. And out it comes over Morning. Johnson with a rebound. Johnson with a score. So Johnson and Childs have split New York's 8 points. And the Knicks playing with a tidal wave of emotion here in the first 3 minutes. This is Zoe against Buck Williams. No double yet. Here they come. Shot clock at 8, and a foul on Buck Williams. That is number 2 on Buck, who tells Jeff Van Gundy, please don't sub for me, but he will. He'll come with Herb Williams.
Let's watch Buck Williams so intent on denying Morning the ball that he bodies it, coming out as though he gets position, so Buck gets his second.
Shot making not there for Miami, 2 of 9. Childs very aggressive. Chris Childs has outscored Tim Hardaway 6-0 here in the opening moments.
And 2 of those he's gotten to the hoop. Pat Riley's going to take a timeout. He doesn't like the shot selection one bit.
Not at all. Miami off to a... It's possible. Yes, and so far half their 10 shots have been threes. They've missed all 5 of them. John Starks. He's had some trouble early, but he drains a baseline jumper to put the Knicks up by 5. 12-7 your score. Leonard feeds Zoe. A veteran Herb Williams forced into action. Well, not getting much done. Flips it out to Leonard. Now the Heat got to hurry up. 5 to shoot. Mashburn steps back and misses. Offense under duress for Miami. The Heat 3 of 11. Starks sends it out to Oakley. Halfway through this first quarter. Here's Childs. Crossover move to Oakley, a 20-footer. Well, the Knicks shooting very well. 7 for 11. They've opened up a 7-point lead.
This Childs has been a big factor in this game, Eric, not just with his scores, but his penetrations for assists to his teammates.
And Pat Riley going to make his first substitution. Ike Austin at the table. Marley, guarded by Herb Williams. 8 on the shot clock with the Heat not getting into offense. Marley out to Mash. Over to Hardaway, 2 to shoot. Leonard does not get it off. And the Knicks' hustling defense has taken rhythm away from Miami. Both teams with 3 turnovers.
A lot of time being consumed inside and then out. The Knicks doing a very good job with their defensive rotations to cover the perimeter shooters.
Now Pat Riley's first change. Jamal Mashburn goes to the bench. Ike Austin comes in. And the Heat need a jump start. With 5:10 left in the first quarter, they're down 7. Miami looking for their first road win of the playoffs. They are 0-4 away from home. The Knicks are 4-0 here at the Garden. Starks missing the 3. Loose ball. Herb Williams gets it. Fresh shot clock for the Knicks. Hardaway gets back on Childs. Here comes Herb Williams. The turnaround jumper. Oh, brother. The Knicks lead it 16-7.
If Herb Williams is going to score, the Heat's in for a tough night, but they've got to get something going at the offensive end.
1.5 minutes left in the first quarter. Very little offense for Miami. Zoe from the foul line for 2. Lonzo Mourning with 5 of Miami's 9 points. That's been Mourning and Marley for Miami's offense.
And this guy with the ball, Chris Childs, has been excellent for the Knicks. Not just with his offense, his defense on Hardaway so far has been strong.
Look at Childs go. His first miss on his 4th shot. And out of bounds off Miami.
Done quickly for Miami.
Oakley, open jumper.
So that was Ike Austin. Ike got screened. And no switch, no help. And look at Childs denying Hardaway the ball in the backcourt. Might be time for Tim Hardaway to go to the low post himself.
New York making 9 of their first 15 shots, 60%. Mourning just holds. Now Austin has to recover with 7 to shoot. The Heat look like a desperate team on the offensive end. And an air ball from Marley. And the Heat offense is hurting. Starks all the way. And Mourning claims the rebound, his 2nd of the game. Miami's down by 9. Hardaway to the lane, for the runner for 2. Made it look easy.
Yes, they need that kind of penetration. Get the ball inside other than balls at the post to Mourning.
He's
just 0 for 6 from the...
Starks, a 3, got it! So with a jumper he hits, a 2nd jumper for Mourning, and he is off to a decent first quarter with 7 Miami points. And that is the New York lead at 7. Here's LJ. Oh my, what a shot for Larry Johnson. He turned his back on Mourning and flipped it home.
That's one of those schoolyard shots that you put up in a game of horse.
6 points for LJ. Childs also has 6. 2 minutes left in the first. The Knicks by 9. Zoe draws a double team. Somebody's open. Marley down the lane. Off to Ike for the dunk.
Good penetration.
They're 11 out of 19 from the field. 7 to shoot for New York. Starks having trouble with Willie Anderson. Gets to the lane and hits. What a move by John Starks. NBA play on New York to the Eastern Final, where Chicago awaits. A Heat victory tonight would move this series to a 7th and deciding game in Miami on Sunday. But if there is to be another day for Miami, Jack, they must right their offense. 4 turnovers in the first quarter, 0 for 6 shooting from three-point land.
Yes, all those factors, Eric, of course, critical. And Tim Hardaway has got to get his team in gear and get his offense going as well.
Miami led by Alonzo Mourning's 9 points. The Knicks led by Charles Oakley, who has 7.
And this is the way to do it. Hardaway at the post.
Turns away from the double and lays it in.
Yep.
And Mourning were right there. Here's Oakley. Can't get in that shot. Charles Oakley, the shot fake, comes free on Austin and hits. Got to stick with Oak better than that. Charles Oakley with 11.
And don't go for the pump fake. Oak won't take it all the way to the hoop, but he can take it one dribble and get a shorter jump shot opportunity.
So far, Oakley's been the man to step into the offensive void left by Ewing and Allen Houston.
Leonard wants to put him on the floor past Larry Johnson.
He does. Pulls up. Good defense by Larry Johnson. Leonard wanted the foul. None forthcoming. New York by 4. Just under 5 minutes left in this second quarter. Childs with Hardaway defending. Oakley, a long one. Unbelievable shooting for Oakley. He is 5 out of 5.
Charles Oakley, always a good perimeter shooter, but not very often as good as this.
13 for Charles Oakley, and the Knicks lead by 6. Deshaun Leonard scoreless in this game. He's played 10 minutes. Hardaway steps back and hits. Tim Hardaway, his 2nd field goal of the quarter. Timmy has 6 points, 3 assists. And Miami, despite some early game struggles, trails by only 4. John Wallace off the lob. Mourning good defense. Wallace on the putback. And Mourning there to swat it out. 4 minutes left in the first half. Fresh shot clock for New York. That was big city defense for Zoe. Wallace again against Leonard. Mourning got a piece and Buck Williams tips it in.
Well, Mourning left Buck Williams to go after the shot, and Buck had the offensive board all to himself. Pat Riley says, enough.
And the Knicks fans are up out of their seats and waving those towels. 3:43 left, first half of Game 6. New York by 6. By 3. John Wallace able to sneak it in over Alonzo Mourning, and the rookie gets his first field goal tonight, puts the Knicks up by 5.
And that was a great pass by John Starks.
4-point swing, 2 misses on Miami's end from the line, and then the field goal by Wallace. Under a minute left in the half. Beautiful reverse by Leonard off the Mourning assist. John Wallace, first round pick out of Syracuse. Oh my, John Wallace answering the call for the Knicks with his second field goal. Scourge, the Heat encountering much first half turbulence, especially from the feed. Loose ball, and New York gets it. This is Chris Childs racing end to end. The Heat wanted an offensive goaltend, but the bucket to Chris Childs on a coast-to-coaster. And New York leads by 7.
The Knicks are getting the loose balls, Eric. That's another category. You must get loose balls if you're going to win big games like this one.
Right now, the Heat aren't playing hard enough or well enough. So, bumps, drives, and connects. 18 for Mourning. Heat trail by 5.
Buck Williams trying to draw the foul by flopping back. Referees aren't going to buy that.
Heat needs Tim Hardaway to chime in on the offensive end. Under 9 minutes left, third quarter. Buck erased by Mourning. And here comes Timmy. On the gallop, on the drive, cut off by Oakley. Marley in the morning, and he lost it, but it bounces out to Hardaway. And the shot clock still has 13 seconds on it. Nash against Oakley. On the drive, comes in, misses. Looked undecided. And saves it in to Larry Johnson. And Nash playing a bit on the tentative side. Oh, brother. The Heat put down in transition. And New York takes a 7-point lead.
2 players, Alonzo Mourning and Jamal Mashburn, stayed in the backcourt. The Knicks get a fast break score.
Timeout here at the Garden, and Miami knows it's going to take more and better to survive. So, 3 to shoot. Buck, offensive foul. Oh, what has gone wrong with Miami's offense? They have really struggled against the hustling Knick defense tonight. That is the 3rd personal on Alonzo Mourning. Why is it taking them so long to initiate?
I think you just said it, Eric. The Knicks defense has challenged the Heat at every ball movement. And the Heat is not penetrating. They're doing a lot of this. And Zoe, with a little play acting by Buck Williams, draws the offensive foul.
Deshaun Leonard sits down. Willie Anderson comes on. 7 minutes left in the third. It's a 7-point lead for New York. Starks gets the lane, and Willie Anderson got the block. And another loose ball retrieval for New York. Oakley. Now, this is not looking good right now. 15 for Oakley. New York by 9. And the Knicks have outscored the Heat 9-4 here in the third quarter. Marley for 3. Oh, that's a big one.
Of the Knicks altogether.
8 to shoot. Childs for 3. Bouncing, rimming, and calling.
Talk about a soft rim.
Chris Childs with 11. The first triple tonight for New York. Here's Austin on the pick and roll. Rolls off. John Starks continues to pile up rebounds. He has 9. A Heat win sends this series to a 7th and deciding game in Miami on Sunday. Herb Williams in the game, 2 to shoot. He does what? Oh my, Herb Williams, his second field goal with a shot clock winding down. That gives the Knicks a 5-point lead. The Knicks are coming up with big plays.
They indeed are. Herb Williams has knocked down 2 improbable shots.
Alonzo Mourning still on the bench for Miami, getting his first rest of this game. The lob for Ike. Looking, probing. Out it comes. Hardaway along, 2. In and out. Hardaway is 5 of 11. The Knicks with a 5-point lead. 3:21 left in the third quarter. And Mourning's rest is about to end. He's at the table. Chris Childs, very aggressive player on both ends. Starks, baseline drive, out to Johnson, he lays it in. Miami down 3 with 1:50 left, third quarter. Childs cannot turn the corner, now he does. Gets inside and scores. He outlasted Miami's defense. Chris Childs playing a relentless game, has 13 points. Very balanced scoring for New York. New York by 5. And we get a whistle and another foul on Oakley. Back to LJ. Turns middle. And on Knicks by 1. Williams short. Hardaway with a rebound. The hit ahead for Zoe. Yes, sir! Miami with 11 offensive rebounds. 10 on the shot clock. New York down 1. LJ got fouled. Got the bucket.
Larry Johnson took that ball right into the defenders and somehow squeezed it up. There were 3 defenders right in the basket area. And Larry Johnson, not a big leaper, watch it. Into the lane, 1, 2, 3 guys there. Johnson gets the score and the free throw.
That's going strong. And Larry Johnson with 20 points. His best game in this series. New York 15 of 18 at the foul line. And with 8.5 minutes left, they are back on top. This has got to be Timmy's time. Mourning, open jumper. In and out. Rebound to Buck Williams. Knicks by 2. Here's Oakley. Gonna stay down on his fake. Now he fires and hits. He has 18.
2 big scoring opportunities for the New York Knicks. First, Johnson getting the ball in the paint, getting the field goal and the foul, and then Charles Oakley knocking down another perimeter jump shot.
Charles Oakley, 7 of 9 from the field, 18 points, 10 rebounds. Jack Oakley and Larry Johnson, I think, are the 2 principals that have stepped up biggest for New York, minus Patrick Ewing and Allen Houston.
Well, you already alluded to Oakley, 7 for 9. Eric. John Starks, another key guy here, not so much for his scoring, but 10 rebounds. Watch Larry Johnson. Just up and through Ike Lawson and around and through Jamal Mashburn. And then Oakley, from the distance, foot fake, draws back, fires the jumper, and gets it to go. And the New York bench reacts.
The Knicks have rallied for 5 unanswered points to take a 4-point lead. Miami's lone lead of this game was short-lived. Deep down 4, Hardaway in pursuit of points. Tough shot, bad shot. Rebound to rebound to Larry Johnson. Hardaway is 5 for 12. Only 11 points. The Heat need more from him right now. 7:38 left. Miami down by 4. A season on the line for the Heat. Nash knocked it away. 5 on the shot clock. In the lane. Johnson, a leaner, and it rolls off. Tim Hardaway moves it ahead for the Heat, down by 4. Hardaway for 3. Oh, you've got to love it. Tim Hardaway, only his second field goal of the second half. They have both been triples. It's a 1-point New York lead. Childs gets in.
Oh, what a play for Childs. Great use of the basket to prevent the shot blockers from getting to the ball. Childs squeezes one home.
He's having his best game of the series, 15 points, 6 assists. New York by 3, under 7 minutes left. So, battling with Buck, Hardaway unloads a 3. The rebound tipped and taken down by Oakley. Down he goes, he was fouled by Dan Marley, and we get a timeout. Dan Marley picks up his second foul. Miami with 14 fouls. The Knicks with none. 3-point lead, New York 6.
You always know Charles Oakley's going to... Tries to get middle, has to throw it out to Hardaway. Timmy with the pull-up three-pointer. New York possession.
And Jack, it only makes sense for Mourning to spin back with a drop step away from where the double team is coming from.
Well, he is so programmed.
Hardaway, open 3. Yes, we're tied at 74. What a game!
Mike Austin came up huge on that last defensive stop.
What a game, what a series. 5:35 left. Tim Hardaway with 3 triples. 2 here, actually 3 in the second half for Timmy. How many big shots has he made through this year? Here comes LJ. Burrows in. Offensive foul. Mike Austin.
Again, Big Ike has really done the job at the defensive end for the Miami Heat. Take a look. Larry Johnson taking it into the paint. Watch Ike Austin. Right there. Straight up and down is Ike. Offensive foul. Heat with a chance to go ahead.
15 turnovers for New York. 5:11 left in this one. Tied at 74. 8 on the shot clock. Hardaway turns the corner. Lobs back to Thunder Dan. Here's Ike. 4 to shoot. Better hurry. Gets it up. And it bounces off. Still tied at 74. Under 5 minutes left now. Chris Childs over to Oakley. Fakes. Doesn't fire. Mike Austin really hustling on the defensive end. Oakley trying to draw a foul. Misses the bucket. Mourning with a rebound. Chance to run. 8 rebounds for Zoe. Here's Leonard on the drive. Changes hands and hits. He's here on the 4th. Oakley on the shot fake. On the drive. Took a hit. No call. Hardaway has a loose ball. And the Heat are off and running. Timmy. Back to Marley. Got the layup to fall, and Miami leads 78 to 74.
Great dish by Hardaway, who drew the traffic, laid it off, and Dan Marley with the finish.
7 straight points for Miami. Buck from behind by Mourning. Hardaway probing, driving.
Sam Hardaway. I don't know how he got that shot up, folks, but it was up off the glass and down. Van Gundy takes timeout. Heat by 6.
Up, and away. Miami has scored 9 straight. Only jacking up.
Heat by 6. That time remaining in the 4th period. Let's take a look at Heat defense. That starts underneath Buck Williams. No, sir.
Marley a deep triple. Kaboom!
One of the risks of putting a big guy on Dan Marley is that you got to chase him at the edges. Marley with the huge three-pointer.
A 7-point Miami lead. Dan Marley now with 15 points. Under 3 minutes left. 83 to 76. Shot clock at 7. Childs fakes the 3. Oh, wild shot for Childs. He'd get the rebound. Leonard has the ball.
Mike Austin was down there all by himself. Nobody saw him. But this is the time not to waste unnecessary or risky passes. Take your time. Use some clock, but get a good shot. That's what Hardaway's doing. He wants one-on-one.
Shot clock at 6. Starks. Hardaway pulls up. Triple bounces off. And Starks lets it bounce out. Tim Hardaway upset that he didn't make the 3. Miami 7 of 21 tonight from three-point land. The Knicks only 1 out of 7. Miami shooting 45% from the field. The Knicks at 40%. Here's 3 for Starks.
Starks rising to the occasion for the New York Knicks. That's a huge field goal. He never hesitated.
Oh, that's a huge field goal. Is right. Cuts the lead to 4. 2:08 left. Mourning against Oakley. Mourning comes middle. Marley shoots a 3. Oh my! Dan Marley!
Oh, what can you say about Thunder Dan? If Zoe would drop step, he'd have an easy layup.
Dan Marley with back-to-back triples. Marley has 18 points. Miami by 7. Johnson in the corner. 7 on the shot clock. Childs over Mourning. Got the bucket of the foul. And Alonzo Mourning has picked up his 5th foul. What a play for Chris Childs.
Chris Childs maneuvering exceptionally well in the basket area. This is Larry Johnson, unable to make headway. Childs underneath. Mourning on the foul. Childs with the left-hand extension. And the finish. This is some shot. Chris Childs had an enormous game for the Knicks.
Oh, barely saw that foul.
Chris Childs with 19 points. New York 17 of 20 at the foul line. The Knicks are down by 5, a minute 37 left. It's a 4-point game now.
That negates Marley's last three-pointer. The Heat 4 of 6 in three-pointers in this fourth period.
4-point game, Miami on top. Minute 28 left, and Zoe playing with 5 fouls. Marley's got the hot hand. He wants it. Line to shoot. Hardaway penetrates. Zoe, oh no, a three for Zoe. Oh, he hit it! He hit it! I don't believe it! Mourning strikes for 3! Oh, Zoe! Oh, Zoe! The Heat are up 7 with a minute 16 left.
Oh, what a shot. Alonzo Mourning.
Jack?
For the New York fans.
And Alonzo Mourning in the regular season, Jack made only 1 3-pointer in 9 attempts. That was a monster shot.
It starts inside the 3.
And at 4 left. Mourning got the block. Marley has the rebound. Day. Childs on a finger roll. Tell you what, I'm not comfortable yet. 91-84. Childs takes a quick foul on Tim Hardaway. Chris Childs has played his heart out. 22 points, a career playoff best for Chris Childs.
And he did, and what I would consider an excellent defensive job on Tim Hardaway. Worked hard to deny him the ball in the backcourt. Pressured him hard when Hardaway had the ball. But it would appear that it's going to be for naught for Chris Childs.
And one crucial free throw right there. So a 20-point game for Tim Hardaway. An 8-point lead for Miami, 28 seconds left. Here in Game 6, we will have an expanded postgame show. Starks hits a 3. His second 3 of the fourth quarter, and that's a good foul by Buck Williams. The Heat entered it to Mourning, and he got clobbered. It's only a 5-point game with 22 seconds left.
John Starks, talk about guys who come up big and make pressure plays. Starks has been huge again in that category.
Now, this is where Miami must make free throws. Alonzo Mourning, 6 of 12 at the line tonight. 27 points for Zoe. His team needs these. They are up by only 5 with the 22 seconds left.
That quiets the crowd and sends a few more of New York's loyal fans to the exits.
Also settles down my very rapid heartbeat. Alonzo with 28 points. Well, it's only a 6-point lead, 20 seconds left. A stop here would help. Starks with 15 seconds for 3. Unbelievable! It's a 3-point game with 12 seconds left, and Leonard goes to the foul line with 10.9 to play. John Starks, back-to-back 3-pointers. Well, the playoff game's never over till the final horn rings. John Starks just fouled out.
A huge game and getting a standing ovation, deservedly so. Watch Starks. This is dribble up in the air, laterally falling away, and somehow getting that ball to fall. Big game.
15 points, 11 rebounds for Starks. Now, you got to have at least one here. Game 7, here we come. The Heat do it. The Road Warriors did it. Their first road win in these NBA playoffs, and the Knicks' first home loss in these NBA playoffs. Miami lives to fight another game.